Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to upload your print book onto the KDP dashboard. If you have not watched the videos on your keywords, categories, how to set up your KDP account, or your description, then I advise you to go back and watch those videos first. You'll want to have everything ready to go, your keywords handy, your categories handy, your access to your cover and the interior of your book. So okay, we'll go ahead and get started. So on your dashboard, you would click Create. Then you're going to click Paperback. And then you will start filling out each of these fields. Okay, these fields are going to be similar to the ebook if you've already uploaded your ebook, but there are some differences because it is a print book. So make sure you go through each field carefully to make sure that you are filling it out correctly. The first field is what language is your book written in, and so you'll click on the down arrow if it's not English. In this case it's English. Book title, again, you'll want to make sure your book title is printed exactly as it is on your cover. Use the same type of, if you use upper and lower case, if you use any kind of punctuation, if you have a dash or anything like that, make sure it matches exactly as to what is on your cover. Subtitle, if you have a subtitle, same thing, fill it in here, make sure it matches exactly. In this case, you can see I have upper and lower case. The title was in all uppercase. You want to match whatever is on your cover so that you don't have any issues with Amazon approving it. The next field is series. If this book would be a part of a series, then you would fill this section out. You'd click Add Series. Edition number. If this was, say, a second edition to your book, then you would fill that in here. Next is author. And this is the primary author, so if you have multiple authors, you're only going to put the primary author here. And again, you want this to match exactly as you have it on your cover. So if you are using a middle initial on your cover, or let's say you're using Dr. or Mr., Mrs., whatever, if you have that on your cover, you have to put that here. It has to match. If you are using a suffix like junior or senior, if that's on your cover, you have to put it here. So make sure you're filling that out correctly. The next field is contributors. This is where if you do have any additional authors, you can add them here. You'd click this down arrow for any other contributors that you want to add, such as editor, forward, anybody that's written a forward for you, illustrator, if someone's written an introduction for you, narrator, photographer, if someone's written a preface for you, translator, any other contributions by, you can do that here. You can fill this out, then to add another one, you just click add another and keep filling out as many as you want to. This is an optional field. It is not required unless you have an agreement with somebody. Let's say you do have a co-author, then you would definitely want to fill their name in here. Again, if it's on the cover, you want to match it exactly as it is on the cover. If you have a contract or agreement with somebody, let's say with your illustrator, that you have to give them credit, then you would have to fill this out. Otherwise, this is optional. For instance, with my book called Self-Editing, I consulted with an editor, professional editor, to help me with it. And I had no formal agreement with her that I had to give her any kind of credit as a contributor, but I wanted to, so in that case, I went out here and I chose editor and I put her name in here. I just put her first and last name. And if you ever want to remove it, you just click remove. So if you added it and you're like, well, I don't know if I want to add them, just click remove and it'll be gone. Okay? So you don't have to add anybody here unless you have some sort of agreement to do so. Description. I have already copy and pasted my description in here. It's the same description that I've uploaded onto the ebook. And as I mentioned in the ebook video, you will want to go in here and format your description. The description is your sales page, so to speak. It's your sales pitch. It's what you are hoping that potential readers will go through and it'll entice them to want to buy your book. So you want to have information in here that, like little nuggets of information that will grab their attention. And one way to do that, aside from the words themselves, is to format it with bolding, with italicizing, and you can use bullet points. They have numbered bullet points or with the dots. And this one here, Tale of a U.S. Marine, it's the heading. And you can see on this drop-down menu, they have normal, heading 4, heading 5, and as you do each one, they get smaller. So I want the heading 4. That's going to help it to stand out. And as you can see, I also used bullet points. Bullet points are great. They help draw the eye in and emphasize just certain points to pique the interest of the reader. So it's really important that you go in here and format your description. Don't just leave it as straight text. This is also something that you want to beef up more than what you have on your back cover. Your back cover is very limited to space, whereas on here you have 4,000 characters. And you can see right now that I have over 2,300 characters remaining. So this could be twice as long as what it is right now. This is up to the author. I'm doing this for one of my clients, and this is what he gave me. So this is what I'm uploading, and it's a decent length. It could be much longer, but at least he's got some bullet point items that are going to help to draw people in. Next are the publishing rights. The first one is I own the copyright and I hold necessary publishing rights. This is the one that you're going to check probably 9 times out of 10. The other option is public domain. If you're doing a public domain type work, I'm not going to get into that. You can click on that, find out what it is. But if you're doing public domain, you would click this second one. But most of you will click this first one. Primary audience. Okay, so there's 2 parts to this. The first one is sexually explicit images or title. Amazon wants to know if your book cover or the interior contain anything sexually explicit, images, words, language, things like that. If it does, you'll want to click yes, and it's automatically going to put an age restriction on here of 18 years plus. If you click no, which I hope most of you have a no, then you will have the option of putting an age restriction on here. For instance, the first book I wrote was my testimony of some things that I went through. And some of those things are pretty sensitive that a younger child may not be able to handle if they read it. So I think I went in here and I select like the age, I think I might have done 15 and then didn't put a maximum on it. I just left that blank. Or you can go in and you can say 18 plus. If you're writing a book for maybe tweens or teenagers, you can go in here and maybe if it's 13 to 17 or something. So go in and fill it in if you need to. If you don't need to, you can leave it blank. If there's nothing that's age sensitive, you can just leave that blank. The next field is primary marketplace. So you're going to want to choose the primary place that you are going to be marketing your book. For those of us in the United States, it's going to be Amazon.com, most likely. If for some reason you are going to choose a different market, you just click on that arrow, choose the one that you want. Otherwise, most of us are probably going to have Amazon.com. Categories. Okay, again, I want to stress if you have not watched the categories video, please go back and do so before you continue. If any of you have previously published a book, you may be familiar with, you used to be able to choose 2 categories here and then email Amazon for additional categories up to 10. You can no longer do that. That went away in June of 2023. You now only have 3 categories you can choose, and you do it all in this spot. You do not contact Amazon any longer. Okay, so let me walk you through how you do this. You just click Choose Categories. Then it's going to come up with the first category choice, which I like to call your like your umbrella category. It's your main category that you're going to work with. So the first one I'm going to choose is biographies and memoirs. And then when you do that, a subcategory choice pops up. So I'm going to choose leaders and notable people. And then another subcategory choice pops up. As long as these keep popping up, that means there's choices to go down even further. So this one is going to be military. Another one pops up, but the one that I want isn't in here. So then what I need to do is I need to go over here to what they call placement. And the one that I want is the Vietnam War. So if what you're looking for is not in the last subcategory selection, then go over to the right here to placement. Now, placement is really no different than just another subcategory. It's the last placement in the category path. This is called a category path. You can see down here, it's down here as well as up here, and it tells you the whole path. So the placement, the final placement of this whole category path is Vietnam War. Okay, you can either hit save and start this process over, or you can just hit add another category right from within this screen. So the next category I'm going to choose is history, and then the next one is military, and then I'm going to go to United States, and again this subcategory doesn't have what I want, so over here on placements I'm going to go to veterans. Okay, so there's my second category path. Again, if you haven't watched the video on categories, watch that. You'll see I have two different main categories. You want to try to have at least two different ones. You don't want everything under one main category. All right, and we get one more. So the next one is also going to be under history and military. But then, again, it's not what I want here, so I'm going to go over here. And what I'm looking for is naval. There's naval. So my third path is history, military, and naval. Now, you see these two are this, they start off the same and then they go different. As long as I have this third one in a different main category, then I should be pretty good. But you should do your homework ahead of time. Have all of your resources handy when you get to this point, but do your homework ahead of time to find the best category paths that will suit your book the best. Once you're done, click Save. All right, this is something new that they have added recently. It says, does your book classify as any of these types? Choose all that apply. Low content book, which would be journals, notebooks, planners. And if you need more information, you can click on what's a low content book, or a large print book. So anything that's 16-point font size or greater. This has been added in large part because there's been a huge influx of low content books flooding Amazon. And there's a lot of low quality, low content books. And so they want to know if it's a low content book or not. Next is keywords. Again, watch the keyword video if you have not done so. This is where you're going to fill in all 7 fields with either words, phrases, or a combination of words. So I'm going to fill these in and be back in a second. Okay, so I have my 7 keyword fields filled in. Something to remind you, it is in the keyword video, but you are not to put in words that target another author or their books. You also do not want to put keywords in that are in your title or your subtitle. That's kind of double dipping. Amazon does not want you to do that, and it actually hurts you because your title and your subtitle already count as keywords. So you want to pick something that's not already chosen. All right, then you go to the next field, publication date. Publication date and release date are the same, or my book was previously published. So most of us are going to have publication date and release date as the same. This does not mean if you published your ebook a week before your print book that you would click this. That's not true. They just want to know if your print book was ever published before. Release date. So they want to know if your book is ready for sale now or if you're going to schedule your book for release, which is in the ebook setup, they call this pre-orders. This is the same thing. So are you scheduling your book's release for later? Most of us are going to release it right away as soon as we hit publish. Okay, then you're going to hit save and continue. Saved successfully, so that's good. And now it's going to take you to the next field, which is paperback content. Now you want to fill in if you have your own ISBN number. I recommend purchasing your own ISBN number in most cases. In this case, my client chose to get a free ISBN number from KDP, which you need to understand that if you do that, your ISBN number is proprietary to KDP and Amazon. You cannot use it anywhere else. So if you would decide to publish your paperback book anywhere else, you're going to have to get a different ISBN number. You cannot use the one that Amazon or KDP assigns you. If you purchase your own ISBN number, then that ISBN number can be used anywhere you publish that format of the book. So in this case, this is not the norm. Most of you are going to choose this, use my own ISBN number. You'd click that and put your number in. But in this case, I am using the free ISBN number for my client because his goals for his book are much different than probably most authors. All right, print options. The default options selected below are based on the most common selections. You can choose whatever you want here. Most of you are going to do black and white interior. And even though this book has photographs in it, we're going to do black and white because anytime you do color, the cost of your book goes way up. And it might make your book kind of priced out of the market, so to speak. And this particular book is a quite lengthy book, and so to do color, it's going to make it really not be affordable for most people. So things to consider: cream paper or white paper. Cream paper you'll see a lot with nonfiction books, but you can use it with fiction as well. If your book is rather short and you want to kind of make it look a little bit beefier, you can use cream paper because cream paper is slightly thicker than white paper. Cream paper is also easier on the eye. White paper can be very stark and almost glaring in your eye. So it can be hard on the eye. Cream paper is easier on the eye. On the other hand, white paper looks nicer. It's very crisp and clean. And if you have photographs or any kind of graphics, then it is recommended that you use white paper because they're going to show up better on white paper than they will on cream paper. So you will have to make that choice. We're going to go with the black and white with white paper. Trim size. What size have you chosen for your book? This would have been decided in advance because your formatter would have needed to know it. And in this case, we're going to go with the 6x9. If you're going to do a different one, you can select a different size. There's no bleed with this, meaning if you have images on the interior of your book and they kind of go right to the edges of the page, then you're going to want to click bleed. But this has no bleed. And then what do you want your cover to be like? Is it a matte finish? Is it a glossy finish? These are all decisions you're going to have to make. And if you're not sure on this, pull some books off your shelf and look at some that are glossy and some that are matte and see which you like better. Different topics might look better in different finishes. So you're going to have to make that decision. My client has chosen matte, so that's what I have chosen here. Manuscript. Okay, I have the manuscript uploaded, but I'm going to upload it again because we've had to make some corrections. So I'm going to pause and re-upload the manuscript. It is currently uploading. So if you ever need to make a change, All you need to do is, you don't need to delete the manuscript. You just say upload, and the new upload will overwrite the old one. So that's all you need to do. So it was successful. It doesn't look like it because it's not showing up right now, but it just takes a minute. There it is. So the upload was successful, and now it is processing the file. So it'll take a little bit for it to process the file. In the meantime, you can go to the next field, book cover. If you're going to create your cover within KDP, you can click here to do that. I strongly recommend you create your cover outside of KDP, and I also recommend hiring a professional to do it for you. But if you have those capabilities, you can do it. It needs to be a print-ready PDF, so you need to know the proper settings in order to make that PDF compatible. So make sure you're choosing the right settings if you are doing it yourself. In this case, I have the cover from him, so I'm clicking that, upload the cover. This says cover uploaded successfully, but I'm not seeing it. Okay, the cover has uploaded successfully, and you'll know it's complete when you see the image. If you don't see the image, it's not done yet. And you'll see the manuscript has now been uploaded successfully. When that little processing goes away and you get this, you'll know that it's ready to go. So the manuscript is uploaded, it's gone through okay, and the cover's uploaded. You've got the image that shows it. The next thing Amazon wants to know is, does your cover include a barcode? If you've hired a professional designer to do your book, they will probably put the barcode on there for you. There is no cost for a barcode. Don't ever pay for a barcode. You can go out and get one for free if you're designing your own barcode. If you've hired a professional to do it, then they likely have put that barcode on there for you. If you've created your cover and you did not put a barcode on it, that is okay. Amazon can put one on there for you. You would just click this box if it includes it. If you don't check the box, then Amazon is going to put a barcode on there. So make sure you check this box if you have a barcode on your back cover. Otherwise, they're going to overwrite the one that you have, and it's going to look terrible. So make sure you check that box if you do have one. And you can see that he's got one. It's right here in the previewer. You can see it. AI generated content. This is also something new added in 2023 because of the explosion of AI software. So they want to know if you're using AI to generate your book at all. And the first question is, did you use AI tools in creating text, images, and/or translations in your book? Now, they want to know if you're using AI to write the book for you. Did you use AI to do your images? They don't care so much if you use AI as just a resource for ideas. For instance, you could type into an AI program, what are some good title ideas? What are some good chapter titles for such and such a book? That's more of almost like doing a Google search. That's just research. But if you're saying, write a chapter about such and such for me, and you use what AI has written for you, or you use like 80% of it, or 50% of it, they want to know that. So you want to answer this question honestly, because if they catch you in a lie, they're going to cancel your account without any kind of notice. So just be truthful with them. If you say no, click no. If it was yes, you would click yes. Then if you click yes, you have more questions to answer. Okay, did you use it for text? Selects one. Some sections with minimal or no editing. Some sections with extensive editing. Entire work with minimal or no editing. Entire work with extensive editing. So fill out whichever is appropriate, or none if you did not use it for text. If you used it for images, one or a few AI generated images with minimal or no editing, one or a few AI generated images with extensive editing, many AI generated images with minimal or no editing, many AI generated images with extensive editing. So click the one that's appropriate. Let's say you click this one. Now they want to know what tools you used. So then you would fill in whatever it is that you used for that. Same up here, if you picked one of these, again, they want to know. So anytime you check one of these, if it's anything other than none, they want to know which tool you use to create the AI generated text. For example, like ChatGTP, Groove AI, there's Midjourney for images. Whatever you might have used, fill it in. Be honest. Preferably what they would like to see, is that you've made editing. They would really like to see that if you've used AI, that you've actually done some editing to it. Okay, so you're going to have to fill those out. And then the last one is translations. If you've used AI to do a translation, some sections with minimal or no editing, same questions. Again, if you click one, they want to know which tool you use to do that translation. Otherwise, like I said, if you did not use AI or you're just using it more as to get ideas, more of a research type tool, then you could click no. All right, the next field is your book preview. So once you have your interior of your book uploaded and your cover uploaded, you want to launch their previewer. It gives you the opportunity to see if your book is going to look okay, if it's formatted okay, and it gives Amazon the opportunity, it scans it, and if they come up with any glaring problems, they're going to give you some error messages. For instance, if something goes outside of the margins, it's going to come up with this error message that you are outside of the margins. So this is very important. You have to do this. It actually won't let you go past this because when you're in the previewer, it's going to then ask you if you approve the book. So I'll show you that here in a minute. So let's launch the previewer. It says your device's browser window is too small. I've never had this pop up before. It's always worked for me. So let's see what it says. Your browser window is currently less than 1200 by 600. Please adjust your browser window to a larger view or use a different device. Interesting. Okay, so let me correct that and I will be back. So what had happened is when I got that error message, I could either click cancel or I could click continue. And when I clicked continue, it actually started going through the review process. And when you do click the previewer, it can take several minutes for it to actually load your book up because it is checking your cover, it's checking the interior, it's checking your fonts. So it's going through several different checks before it loads it up. And now you can see it actually loaded up. So I'm not sure what that error message was all about. I've never gotten that before. And when I looked up how to change my browser size, it didn't seem to have anything to do with what they were saying. So I just went ahead and I clicked continue to see what would happen, and it actually worked. So I'm not sure what that was about. If you ever get that, just click continue and see if it'll accept it. Now, here's the quality check on the left-hand side. If there were any problems, there would be some, I call them red flags, but they're not really red flags. They're more that yellow caution triangle with an exclamation point in it, and they would show up over here as well. Like if this cover was not right, they would be all over this cover, and then over to the left it would describe what's wrong. And then if you had to make any corrections, you might have to go back to your cover designer, your formatter. If you have any third parties helping you with any of this, you'll need to go back to them and tell them what kind of errors you got. And if you can screenshot it and send them the exact screenshot of the errors, that would be helpful to them too, so they know what to fix. All right, once the previewer loads your book, you want to go through this page by page. You can do a thumbnail view. If you click on that, you're going to get like 2 pages, but This is good at a glance, but I suggest you also do the 2-page view. Now you can see this is a quite lengthy book. It's 438 pages. So I am going to review this. I'm going to pause this video, and come back because this is going to take me quite a while to review it. But I'm going to show you just a few things here first. So look at the cover. Does it look good? Does it look like it's loading correctly? You see the white dots? That is your margin. And you want to make sure all of your text, and there's also the red. There are two different margins. You want to make sure everything is within the red as well as the white. Like all of your text, you don't want it going into that white and red area. Your spine, as long as that stays within those borders, make sure that it all looks good. And if there really was a problem, the previewer probably would have picked up on it, but you want to check it yourself as well. Then you just click the arrow button to go. You can go forwards or backwards and check it out this way. And look at each page, see how they pulled in. Do they look okay? Make sure the table of contents looks okay. Go through that. And you're really kind of just looking for formatting errors at this point to make sure, like for instance, let's say if this accidentally got this last paragraph moved to a next page, that might not look good because there's room for it to fit on this page. So you're just looking for things like that. Now you see this is how empty this is. We'll see, is there more on the next page? No, that was the end of that chapter. But if there was something on this page that wasn't intentional, then you might have a formatting error. So you're just going to go through each page and look at it. In this case, we have some images. Are those images pulling in? Make sure that they're okay. Nothing seems to be cut off. So far, everything is looking good. And so I'm going to go through every single one of these pages and make sure it looks good. I'll probably do a thumbnail view afterwards, just so that I can also get the bird's eye view, so to speak, of it at a glance, what it looks like. But I'm going to start off with the 2-page view. So I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to do the preview, and then we'll come back and finish up. Okay, so I have reviewed all the pages. Everything seems to have been pulled in fine. So we're going to go ahead and leave it. Now, you can, if you need help, it says get help, provide us feedback, or download a PDF proof. So you could click on that, and it's going to download a proof for you if you want to do that. You don't have to do that. If you want to do that, you can. Then there is, the next step is going to be, you can either exit the print previewer as it is without doing anything, but if everything looks good and you're like, yeah, this is ready to go, you can click approve. And once that's done, it just returns you back out to this tab. You can scroll on down, and then you can go on to the next. And once it does all that, then now it summarizes what you've done. Now, this doesn't mean you can't make any changes. You can, before you've published it and even after you've published it, but you can go out here and say, oh, wait a minute, I found another mistake. I need to re-upload that. So every time you make a change, they're going to want you to do that previewer and click approve. If you're in the setup process and you're not sure if you want to approve it yet, you would click that other button that I showed you, and it just saves it basically as a draft. And then you can, go back out. You can't go any further until you hit approve though. So you'll always have to do that step to move on. And once you do that, then you're going to get this summary of your costs. So it tells you what you've chosen: black and white interior with white paper, no bleed, matte finish, your trim size, tells you the page count. If you accidentally chose anything wrong here, this is a great way to review it. Now it's going to tell you your printing cost. This book is going to cost $6.26 to print. And it also tells you the cost to print in these other markets. Now you can go on, and knowing what your print cost is can help you determine what you want to set your price at for retail value, for the retail price. So you can click Save and Continue. Again, this, you're not publishing it. Save and Continue just takes you to the next screen, so you're still able to make changes if you want. If at any point you need to stop, you just click Save as a draft, and you'll be able to re-access it and finish your setup at a later time through your dashboard. But we're going to hit Save and Continue, and then it's going to take you to the next tab, which is to set up all of your pricing. And now they're asking you select the territories for which you hold distribution rights. Now, most of you should have worldwide rights. Try saying that 10 times fast. And if for any reason you don't, you would click individual territories, and then you would choose the territory that you have rights for. Again, the marketplace pricing is based on the primary marketplace that you chose. So we've chosen Amazon.com. If you chose that wrong, you'll need to fix that. But this is the marketplace that we are going with. And so the price is set on that. All right, so pricing, royalty, and distribution. So enter the list price that you would like to sell your book for. Your price will be distributed in the marketplace that you've listed. You also have the option to make your book available to bookstores and other distributors, reaching readers beyond Amazon. How does pricing and royalties work? You can click on that and it'll tell you. So the marketplace, Amazon.com, is your main marketplace. You can see how it's kind of listed here separately, and all the other ones are listed below. So we're going to enter the price that we want. It tells you the minimum price that you can list this book at. And the reason for that is not only does it cost $6.26 to print, you got to take into consideration that Amazon also takes a royalty. And it breaks it down for you so you know exactly what you're going to get. So if I price it at $18.99, the printing is $6.26. It's a royalty rate of 60%. So my royalty on this would be, or my author's royalty would be $5.14. If you chose expanded distribution, it's 40% commission, and so you'd only make $1.34. I never, ever, ever recommend choosing expanded distribution through the KDP platform, because what that does is it ties you to the KDP platform. So do not click this. Do not do expanded distribution. Instead, leave it off of that, and then that way you can publish your print book anywhere else if you want to. You can, there's all kinds of different places you can publish it to. So do not click expanded distribution. You want the 60% rate. What do we want to price it at? I think $18.99 for this book is going to be a fair price. That's what the author had agreed upon, so we're going to go with that. He's going to make $5 a book, and that's a pretty decent royalty. He can always up the price later if he wants to. It sets a maximum price of $250. So I don't know when you would have a book worth that much, but you could. And they're going to tell you what your minimum price is and your maximum price. If you want to go and set the price for each of these different markets, you can do that here manually. You can go in and change them. Otherwise, you can let Amazon just automatically do it and they convert it for you. I don't mess with it myself because I don't know enough about these different values. So, but it's up to you. You can set them at a different price if you want to. Terms and conditions. It can take up to 72 hours for your book to be available for purchase on Amazon. By clicking publish, I confirm that I agree to and am in compliance with the KDP terms and conditions. Let's pause here for a minute. Even though I have gone through, I've checked the book, the previewer, everything looked good, I never recommend just automatically clicking publish your paperback book. I would save it as a draft, go through each field very carefully, and make sure you have them filled out as you want to. The ones that are super important are your title and your subtitle, because once you hit publish, you cannot correct them. If you have a typo, you cannot correct it. If that would happen, you would have to unpublish the book and republish it with a new ISBN number. And if you purchased your ISBN numbers, now you just threw $125 away on a book that, because the title was wrong and you don't want it published. You can't reuse those ISBN numbers. So that's why it's really important to check over your work. Take the extra time now to go back, save as a draft, go back and look at each field and make sure that you have them filled out exactly as you want them. There are fields like the description and your keywords and your categories. They can be changed at any time. The author name cannot be. Your title, your subtitle cannot be. There are fields that cannot be changed. You're not going to be able to go in and change your paper type and things like that. So make sure you have everything as you want it. Review it carefully before you ever hit publish. The other thing that you're going to want to do before you hit publish is you're going to want to request a proof copy. It says get a printed preview of your book before it goes live. Check for printing errors and if everything looks correct. You can order author copies once your book is available on Amazon. Author copies and proof copies are two different things. Your proof copy is before your book is published. You're going to get the book. It's going to have like a gray band across the front of the cover that says not for sale. You want to order the book. And also, something to be aware of, the barcode on the back cover will look different on a proof copy. So don't get worried about that. It's going to look different on your proof copy. Once you go live, the real barcode will go on that cover. But it's really, really important to order a proof copy to make sure it looks right, make sure the pages are, because what you see on screen can look different in print. And just for instance, I had a client who, once she got her proof copy back, she said it was very hard to read. The font that the formatter had chosen was very hard to read. And so we had to go in and change her font, which then required it to be completely reformatted because a different font will format differently. And so that all had to be corrected. And then she ordered another proof copy, and it was exactly what she wanted. It was much more readable. So that's really important to understand as well. This is why proof copies are really important. You also want to give yourself enough time to get the proof copy before you launch your book. So if you're telling your launch team that your book is going to publish on such and such a date, I would give yourself a couple weeks in advance to get your proof copy, because it could take a week to get your proof. And then if you need to make changes to that, now you're going to have to wait another week. In that case, you're probably going to end up having to push your launch out a little bit. But give yourself, I'd say, 2 weeks in advance of what you actually want to publish your book so that you have opportunity to order the proof copy and review it. Okay? So I am going to, first of all, save this as a draft. But before I do that, this is where you're going to click proof copy. And I will come back and show you how to do that. First, I'm going to save as a draft and review this one more time before I order the proof copy. So let's save as draft. Okay. I'm going to go back out to the bookshelf here, and I'm going to show you. So here's the paperback in draft. It tells you right here that it's in draft, and you can continue setup. If you continue setup, it'll take you to the last place that you were at in the setup process. Or you can click on the little dots, and you can click on whatever tab you want to go to. Because I'm going to review this, I'm going to click on the paperback details first. And I'm going to go through each one of these fields very carefully. And then to get to the next field, what you have to do, or the next page, is you have to click save and continue, even if you didn't make any changes. Or you can, as long as there weren't changes, you can just you can jump to the next tab and say save and continue, or continue without saving, and you can go to the next tab. You can do it either way. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to review each one of these fields, and then I'm going to show you how to order the proof copy. Okay, I have reviewed everything and it looks good, so I'm ready to order the proof copy. So what you do to do that is you'll click on Request Proof, and it says Request Proof Copies. Order proof copies of your book before publication. Proof copies are printed using your latest uploaded book files, which may differ from your book's live version. They will also have a not for resale watermark on the cover and a unique barcode, but no ISBN. You pay only the printing cost for your selected marketplace times the number of copies. Shipping and applicable taxes will be applied at checkout. I don't really know why you would need more than one copy for a proof copy, so I would just order one. If you want more, you can have more. And again, just to get to, I don't know that I really explained proof copy versus author copies. The proof copies are what you get before you publish your book. Once you've published the book, you can purchase author copies at a discounted rate. You know, like if you're going to use that for, let's say you're going to go to a convention or something like that and you want to take books with, then you could order your author copies so you can get them at a discounted rate, and then you can sell them for whatever price you want to at that event. Okay, so we're going to order one. You have to choose your marketplace, which is Amazon.com in this case, and you can submit proof request. Within 4 hours of submitting your request, we will set up your proof copy and will receive an email with a link to complete your proof order. Please complete your purchase within 24 hours of receiving this email. You will now be redirected to your pricing page where you may proceed with publishing if you wish. Your proof copy will be printed using your current draft version. To view changes made after you click Confirm Proof Request, you will need to order another proof. So yeah, if you get your proof copy and you don't like what you see and you need to make changes, you upload a new manuscript, you're going to have to, go through the previewer, go through all that again, and then if you want another proof copy, you would just do the exact same thing. You'd order a proof copy and go through it the next time and so forth. So confirm proof request. Now this is really important that you watch your emails, and if you don't see one, check your spam folder, because you have to go out there to finish the request. It doesn't automatically order your proof request. You have to finish it, so make sure you're checking your email and follow the instructions in your email. Confirm proof copy. Thank you. And it now returns me to this page. I'm just going to go down here and save as a draft. And we are going to wait for that draft to show up, and then we can publish it once I have the author's approval. And that's all you have to do to get your book uploaded, get your draft copy. Once you're ready to hit publish, you're going to hit publish your paperback book, this yellow button here. And then remember that Amazon can take up to 72 hours to approve your book. You'll get an email once they have approved it. So you also want to take that into consideration when you're planning your launch date. You want to give yourself 3 extra days because if you hit publish today, it may take 3 days. If you hit publish today, it could get approved today. And all that means is it's going to be out there live on Amazon. If anybody happens to find it, they can order it. But you'll tell your launch team, the certain date. You don't want to go past your planned launch date if at all possible. So give yourself those 72 hours, and just in case that Amazon needs that for review. All right, you are almost published.